Aries, welcome to your Astroflower reading. This is going to be a reading for the mid-January, going right up through to the beginning of February. There was also the collective reading on this, which you might want to see, and also your yearly reading and the collective yearly reading as well, which you might want to sort of tie into all of this sort of things. We're going to be going through your chakras, and we're going to do an aura reading, and then we're going to be pulling some cards. It will be time-stamped in the description below. There's also a link to 5 appointments that I have during the week that are available for YouTube watchers out there. So you'll find that link in the description below for either a tarot reading or a healing session. In the meantime, let's just get straight on. Now we've got our chakra man here. Let's just see what's going on. There we go. We got the root chakras there. There we got the sacrum, solar plexus, heart, yep, third eye and throat. Nearly forgot you guys. Third eye, throat, and your crown chakra. Right, let's just see what's going on. Let's start with the root chakra here. Yeah, your root is you're coming into the last month before your birthday. So you're in your autumn period. And in this autumn period, we tend to go through what's been going on over the last year, what we've liked, what we haven't liked, what we would like to continue, what we'd like to stop, everything like that. Organising for the future cycle coming up, which is from your birthday. That's when your energy then starts picking up the speed in which it sort of flows through you. You don't get more energy, it's just the speed in which it goes through you. So you can really get on and start doing things. But at the moment, going through to the end of this month and obviously right up to your birthday, you're still going to be in that situation there where you may be looking back in the past. And at the moment, and this is January, at the moment, the root chakra on your right-hand side, on your left-hand side, sorry, on your left-hand side is a lot more defined than it is on the left-hand side. Now, this is the overall energy as well, which ties into the collective reading as well, which you might want to sort of see. But it's all about sort of administration, jobs, business, projects, that sort of thing. It's just keeping, getting that side of life organized, getting it rooted, getting it grounded, getting it in place, organization, putting into position, working plans, as it were, making sure everything is working, observing of what is actually happening, observing as well how you want that career path to go forward, how you want that business to go forward, how you want your private life in your acquisitions and your material world to go forward. It's gradually bringing into you the plan for the going future, basically, in regards to that. On your right hand side, which is much more rooted for your emotions, your sort of spirit and that sort of thing, your spiritual sort of path, that's a lot lighter. It's gives you still got room for maneuver. There's still a lot of umming and ahhing going on in those sort of respects. So it might be within your relationships that are around you at the moment. They come and go as they please in a way. You're not really holding on to anything. You're just enjoying the moment, which is good. It's also give you a lot of space to, in the future, from February or onwards, to really start working out, what sort of things really tick for you. More from the end of February than anything else. But I think from now going through to mid to the end of February, there's still going to be a lot of organization in regards to your work, your business, and etc. But for the relationship side, there's not so much pressure on it. There's a bit more pressure on the work side of things. Okay, let's just see what's going on your sacrum. Well, we can see this on the sacrum as well. So on the sacrum, you've got your left-hand side, which is a lot more prominent. So then there we get back to the administration, the business and stuff like that. They are enough of a difference between the two in order to merit a good look at your work play ethic. A lot of signs get this, and a lot of people get this at the moment because we're preparing for this change that's happening in the beginning of March, which then flows into your birthday season. And it's a real sort of the start of a new cycle basically coming up there. And a lot of people are in that preparation zone at the moment. So I can understand it being a little bit more sort of focused on your financial and your business sort of side of life. But I do think there is also, you do need a bit of a valve of distraction. Let's put it that way. You know, just to sort of keep things light and not necessarily get too bogged down on the work side, because you're one of life's workers. You know, you really get on and you do stuff. There's no messing about with Aries. And sometimes it can be overpowering. Sometimes it can be a little bit, maybe a little bit too much. And you forget about the lighter side of life. So I would look into that a little bit for you, you know, with yourself. Just realize what little things you're doing. And it doesn't have to be massive things. It could be quite literally just dancing around in, you know, dancing around singing to a song whilst you're doing the washing up. You know, it's as simple as that, you know. Just getting a lot of those little things to sort of just bring the mood up and lighten things off a little bit. Let's see what's going on in your solar plexus. Right, it's really wide. So I think this also ties into the, this comes into the play with the relationship side, sort of like come and go as it pleases. It's very welcoming, this solar plexus. It's not aggressive at all. But unfortunately, obviously with that aggression, there's no sort of direction, direction, say like, and I'm thinking more within your business and projects and that sort of thing, and your jobs and the material side. That is understandable because you're working stuff out at the moment. So it's almost like, you know, in the fire, there's not lots of flames, but there's lots of embers. It's nice and warm. It's very welcoming fireplace. But there's no real fire of passion going on there. There's a real grinding it out, as it were. And in grinding it out, you're going to sort of see what sort of things, how you want to put the logs on, the passions of your projects going forward. And how you put those logs on will be dependent upon how you do that organization, that preparation work at the moment. And the solar plexus is looking at a lot of different areas at the moment. So you may find your passions, you know, they're very much sort of a bit like the relationship, let it come and go as you please. It's very easy going, but very warm and loving at the moment. That's what it seems to be, more than anything else. Let's have a look at your heart and see what's going on in your heart chakra. This ties into your autumn as well. It's purring, which sounds really nice, but in purring it's sort of like, it's pulsating in a way, so that you're going to get these glimpses of passion that come through to you, that all of a sudden you're really passionate about something, and then it fades, because it's not the time. Your energy has not got enough speed going through you in order to maintain that passion as it goes through. That's going to be later on in life, later on in the year. That's more sort of around sort of September period, and you'll be really on fire then, I guarantee you. But at the moment, it's a case of enjoying the moment, allowing that thing to go, oh yeah, oh yeah. And that's what's sort of coming through your heart. It's very sociable as well, your heart, which is also a point that's come through on a lot of people at the moment. There seems to be a lot of desire to be sociable at the moment, to connect with other people and etc. And I think that's sort of runs true for you. But just don't, I wouldn't try and, you may well spark up, you know, lifelong friendships or lifelong sort of partnerships with people, but I wouldn't necessarily have that in your head and going for it at the moment. You're best off going for that after your birthday, basically, and really putting it out there. At the moment, it's just testing and seeing, testing the waters, seeing what's going on. Let's just see what's going on your third eye and your throat chakra. Oh, well, that's another thing I've noticed in other people. Normally the third eye is slightly in front of the throat chakra. And at the moment, the throat chakra tends to be sitting in front of for the majority. So it's not all for all signs, but for the majority, I'd say. The throat chakra seems to be a little bit more in the front than the third eye, which is unusual. It's not exceptional, but it is unusual. But it's more down to communication at the moment. And I think this is the exchange of ideas. And communication is obviously talking, but it is also listening. And I think this is where you can take or leave things, and this is where it's going to help you out to galvanize your intuition that is within you. So as you're working to the forward plans, it's going to make it a very clear to you what you can put into place according to what is around you in regards to people and relationships, but also in regards to sort of money and business and projects and stuff like that. So I would be communicative. I would ask questions, but make sure you listen to the answers. You may not necessarily agree with the answers, but then that's going to help you as well to galvanize that intuition. Okay, so that's really nice, actually. I think that's really quite beautiful for you at the moment. It's causing a lot less trouble for the old noggin, as it were. Let's just see what's going on in your crown chakra. Yeah, it's taking on a lot. It's taking on a lot. I think this is also to do with that autumn period. It's not overwhelming either, but there is there is a lot and ideas that are floating around at the moment. Excuse me. It may be that solar plexus. We'll have a look at your stomach system and see if there's any sort of something going on. It might be some of you might be having digestive sort of situations, and we'll have a look at that at the end of the chakras and see what's going on. But getting back to your crown chakra, it's got that sort of it's holding on to ideas or thoughts or emotions long enough so you understand what they're about, and then you can release it. That's what seems to be happening. It's a very healthy aspect, but it's not conducive to progressing along your path of hammering it on through at the moment, because you're observing, and it takes time, it takes energy, it takes distraction of mind and into intuition, which is going to take away from your focus on the here and now, as it were. So I think that's a very good position for you at the moment at this time of the year, as it flows through you. But what I'd like to do here is just help to get a little bit more sort of balance within your sacrum, to get that work ethic sort of going from. And I think we can take it from the solar plexus, because it seems to be over. There's a lot of excess in there at the moment. So it's like, just if you pull on one cord, it's going to make that chakra, make the solar plexus just go tighten a little bit. But then that excess of cord, or that energy that you take from that chakra there, you can place it into your sacrum, which will then help to fuel your desires and your wants for your pleasures in life, for those little moments of absolute joy. Okay, so you can sit there in your meditation and you can sort of focus on that, just doing a transferal from this sort of section here, which is like just above the belly button, just below the sternum, and you can imagine that sort of section there, and you're just pulling it down into the pubis, into your sacrum area, and you'll realize it will actually start like making you feel a little bit more sort of bubbly, feeling a little less tired as well, that sort of thing, because this sort of energy configuration is tiring, it's consuming, you may find yourself with sleep deprivation sometimes and a little bit of anxiety and stuff like that. But I don't necessarily think that's true for you at the moment. But it just, because you may feel that it's labouring a little bit. It's a little bit. It's nothing too excessive. But that'll help that to just smooth that side out. So life is a little bit more zippy, a little bit more optimistic about things and stuff like that. Okay? So you can picture that within your meditation. I just want to have a look at your digestive system. So let's just pull up your stomach here. So here's your stomach. Let's just see what's going on there. Okay, so we see on the intestines here, and this may be for some of you, it may not be for a lot of you, but you may be carrying a lot of emotions from situations where you kind of went, I haven't got time for this. I need to just swallow that emotion. It's just kind of going, it's just sort of saying, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to swallow it, accept it, even though I know it's not my fault. You know, and that can cause complications for the solar plexus as well. So it's not burning on all cylinders, not firing on all cylinders. I've got a lovely heated blanket here, so I'm just going to pull that up so I get my solar plexus nice and warm. So you know, it needs to be released at some point, and I think the releasing point is going to be from February onwards, because it's going to be help you to examine the emotional side of life, which will be from February, the end of February, beginning of March, going right up your birthday. And that's when we got all those planetary things going on there as well. But let's just help it filter through. So let's take your intestines and just help that emotions flow through you. So you're not holding on to too much in the way of emotions, basically. So it helps you with your digestive system. It helps you have that fire that's a little bit more sort of concentrated, give it a little bit more sort of direction and stuff like that. Okay, so obviously that may not be for everybody, but you know, it might be a good time to do a liver flush as well, that sort of thing, with a bit of hot water and lemon juice, real lemons, yeah, not just the squeezy stuff. That's a lot of tosh. Get real lemons, half a lemon, just squeeze it into hot water and have it before you go to bed, or first thing in the morning when you wake up, and then eat your breakfast 45 minutes afterwards. It's a good way of having a liver flush, and it's always good to do that in your autumn period. And in your autumn period, it's like, this is the best way to describe it, it's like leaves of a tree that fall to the ground, and they're the memories of the past year. And as they flutter down like that, the tree can observe that leaf and see if there was any complications within that situation. And when it hits the ground, it'll get integrated into the earth that is around you and nourish your dreams for tomorrow. So this is the important part of life, in a way. Very, very important part of life, autumn period. It is a moment of taking stock of the situation, basically. So that should be happening for you. And you should do that within your meditation. Let's just see what's going on your aura. Okay, so it's good. It's fantastic, actually. It's really nice. It's one of the best ones I've seen. There is just a slight complication on it, and I think that ties into you know, the retrospective idea of what you've got going on in your life at the moment, where it's a little bit top heavy. So when you finish your meditation, and this will help you out a lot, there was a lot more energy up this sort of section than down here, really. Yeah, it's really quite nice, actually, but there is a little bit too top heavy at the moment, and that could be the way that you're, you know, as I say, going through the retrospective, to just sort of like to help to streamline that a little bit at the end of your meditation. If you just imagine you got like a soap bubble on top of your head, it's like what I call energy hygiene, basically. Like that soap bubble at the top of your head, it goes down the back of your head, goes down your back, goes down your legs, gets to your toes, and when it gets to your toes, it just goes and pops. Yeah, that's just going to put everything back into place, help to streamline and rebalance your aura a little bit. Do that on a daily basis if I was you, because that's the best thing about health. It's done on a daily basis. Okay, like the apple a day keeps the doctor away. Nice. Yeah, so there you go. There's your chakras and your aura reading. Let's just get into some cards here. Let's just see what's going on, how it's connecting to your guides, the divine plan, your karmic mission, basically. Let's just see what's going on here. Let's see what the overall energy is for you here. Silence is golden. My voice is getting back to it. Like it. Well, I don't know, actually. I've got I can sometimes have a good voice. I can sometimes have a bad voice. It's a bit croaky at the moment. But it's enjoying that space and that, Yeah, look at that. You know, she's a really, you know, Queen of Pentacles. It's all about the financial side of life and the administration at the moment. She's sitting at the tree of knowledge. For the end of this month, it's gathering that understanding that comes from the divine plan, the natural progression of things. She's got a wry smile on her face because she knows where she's going. And this is what all the preparation is all about. You've got that pentacle in your hand. You've got that possibilities of goals and projects as you go forward. And it's a very serene, and she's just sitting there enjoying the environment that is around you. So maybe that's something you can do to help to readjust that sort of sacrum as well within your life. Okay, so that's the overall energies. You've got to look at things in a different way, apparently. It's, you know, because normally, Aries, you're running around all over the place. There's no, you know, you don't like sitting still. And sitting still is almost like torture for you. So I'm quite smiling at that. I've got quite a few Aries around me, and I know what they're like. So, you know, sitting still and meditating can sometimes be a little bit of a bind. You only have to do 5-10 minutes of a day, but it will help you be a lot quicker. That's not English, is it? A lot quicker in what you're doing in life and how you progress in life. Let's just see what's going on in your karmic message for this end of January. This is on your relationship side. It's enjoying the moment, enjoying the past and how it links into your future. I think it's almost like giving yourself a pat on the back. Building that clarity of vision, that direction, that coming and going, that wind at your back, just allowing the forces of nature, of relationships, of energy in order to sort of feed your direction. And that's, you know, it's not getting tied up in the emotions of the situation. It's just there. And I think this is what you've got to do in regards to your relationships at the moment, is just be there. Enjoy the moment. Let's see how the divine plan is trying to influence this karmic message. There's a lot of nurturing going on. They're encouraging you to, it's like pruning of trees. Yeah, you know, it's cutting parts of trees, which is obviously when you talk to the tree and you explain what you're doing before you cut the tree. You know, it's respecting everything and its balance of everything. But the tree will realise that actually that's really good for its future growth and fruits. You know, so it's helping to nurture things as it's going forward. Yeah, I think it's unladening yourself. As I say, like pruning trees, taking things off. You know, the 10 of Wands is that person's gone through that journey. He's gradually been putting things in the ground as they've gone on that journey, and they've accumulated a lot of things. And some of those things they're going to need in the future. Some of those things they're not going to need in the future. So emotions that you've been experiencing over the last year, what things would you like to keep hold of? What things do you like to get rid of? Relationships, what relationships you like to develop and not develop. I think that's coming through at the moment, but it's not really there on the surface. This is what the universe is, or the divine plan is trying to encourage within you. It's not in your everyday thinking at the moment, but it's coming up through you. And that will come up through you in February as we go into the last month before your birthday, basically. Let's see how the guides are trying to influence this karmic message. It's like a calm river that's flowing through you, and you know, as you're eating an apple, you don't need that apple, you throw it in the river. That apple, that seed is going to be taken down the river, down the course of your life, and it will grow a tree for you to come across in the future path. It's being very relaxed and not really holding on to things at the moment. It is that sort of come and go as you please. Very sociable, as I said. And I think your guides are trying to encourage that within you. You know, with that Three of Cups. Yeah, it's just enjoying the fruits of the year, basically, and in sharing it and enjoying that social aspect. That's what they're trying to encourage in the coincidences that are around you. Let's just see how the guides are trying to influence the karmic, the conversation that is within you in regards to your relationships. It's a very observing thing at the moment, and it's just observing. No judgment attached to any of it. It's just observing, basically. The Ten of Swords wanted to jump out there. Yeah, I think it's recognizing you might just get glimpses at the moment, and this is where the conversation is within you. You might get realization, kind of go, maybe that relationship there is a little bit sort of, it's not helping either of us to grow. It's a bit detrimental rather than sort of constructive sort of scenario. That's the sort of conversation that sort of seems to be flowing through you at the moment. Yeah, patience, I would say that. It's just observing, and that's what patience is all about. Patience is a moment of relaxation, getting ready for the action, basically. Getting ready for that higher self, that angel, that inner being of you to ascend through the judgment moment. Okay, so that conversation there, it's going to be very fleeting within you in regards to the relationships. And I think it's good to observe, but don't hold on to anything. Let's just see what's going on in your financial sort of side. Here's the karmic message for you for this side. Things are coming in quickly. I think this could be that whole sort of purring of your heart. I think there's a lot of desires within your financial world, in your job and your business and your projects, that you want things to happen for you and obviously happen for everybody else that is around you. But it's in spits and spurts. But these spits and spurts come in really quickly. Happiness. Yeah, I think this is all to do with happiness. It's about following your heart at the moment. I think it's helping you to realize what really works for you at the moment in regards to sort of your career path, your business. Because if you've seen in the yearly readings, there is a change coming to the financial world, political world, the way we govern ourselves, the administration, basically. And it's we're going to place different values on different things. You can see that in the 2023 collective reading, and your individual reading as well. That'll be linked at the end of this reading, and you might want to see that. Let's just see how the divine plan is trying to influence that happiness and that joy of your path going forward. It's like a squirrel collecting nuts. Oh, that's awesome, isn't it? There you go. It's like a squirrel collecting nuts. You're collecting. The universe is helping you to collect up the possibilities for tomorrow. Yeah, it's all to do with your dreams and aspirations. That's coming through you at the moment. Yeah, I think you're working on that. Working on putting on in a plan, connecting with the Pentacle, the Queen of Pentacles. She's happy because she knows those acorns are going to fall for her to collect. She only has to sit under the tree. So she knows where she's going, and it's basically working on those. The universe is helping you to work on those dreams and aspirations for the going future. And it looks like you're going to have a really blistering year in the material world. Let's just see how your guides are trying to influence this karmic message. I'm getting love is in the air. It's almost as if you're being pulled, your karmic path is being defined by your moral compass, basically. That money is not the ultimate definition of success or wealth. And I think you're starting to understand that, basically. That one seems to want to come out. Yeah, this is, I think, you know, on the finances side, we're on the financial side. This could signify money loss. So this could signify a change of job that you're looking at. Really looking at a change of job. Could be even completely changing the industry that you're in, the job that you do. So you could be going from, let's say, going from being an accountant to, you know, running a sports centre or a gym or something like that. And that's going to ask you to invest in things. So therefore, you're going to release money. You're going to be in a poorer state. You're going to lose money at the beginning. But it's also going to set you aside from everybody else. And I think this is more than that than anything else. I think you're working on something that's going to be a little bit off the wall in a way compared with the rest of the world around you. So you may feel like you're a little bit out on a limb, out on the cold, as it were. I'm not getting, you know, financial ruin at all with that, because you've got the star and the sun behind it. I really believe it's more a case of a change of direction within your life. And this is what could be filtering up through you. It could be a major change, or it could be a small change. But even those small changes, if I was going to take a boat across the Atlantic from Europe through to the Americas, and right at the beginning I changed by 1 degree, that's not very much. But by the time I get to America, that's the difference between New York and Florida, almost. You know, there's a major difference in the degree of how it sets out from there, you know. So you know, it could be massive, but I think it's a lot of small things. It's a collection of things rather than one massive thing. Let's just see how your guides are trying to influence the conversation that is within you. Fair exchange. I think you're looking for something that is much more satisfying for you. I think you're looking for satisfaction in your life. And I'm not sure that's 100% behind your job or your business. I also think it's to do with maybe looking for a new home, or changing the garden, or start gardening, or, you know, just something around you physically, which is, or new activity within your life. You know, you could be going from, say, like cycling through to, you know, hang gliding or whatever it is, or you know, or jousting or whatever. You know, there's a sort of like change of activity as well. That's sort of like they're pricking your, you know, your interest, basically. What did I say about that card there? Temperance. It ties into that judgment moment. So as I said, you're going through your autumn period, and here in your autumn period, there's a judgment on your material side of life. You're coming towards the realization of, oh, this is how I want it, and this is what I want, and this is how I've got to do it. You know, so there's a real realization over this month period, and I think that will come to fruition really in February, as you move over to the analyzing of your emotional and your relationship side in February and March. So basically that's exactly what I was saying in regards to sort of pricking your interest. And I think there's going to be moments when you're going to kind of go, oh yeah, it's like an ascension moment. Oh yeah, this is what I should be doing in my life. It is a new cycle, a change of fortune for you. And it doesn't necessarily mean you come from poverty into fortune. It's just maybe just doing activities which change your aspects and your view of life, which we saw earlier on as well with the Hermit card. Let's just see what the overall outcome is and how it flows into February. It's almost as if this Queen of Pentacles comes up here. There's a lot of serenity here. There's a lot of confidence and yeah, confidence and yeah, confidence within your demeanor. You know, oh, look at that. Beautiful. Hierophant. The Hierophant is the teacher. So basically, they've gone through the different stages of learning, which is the body, mind, and soul, the trilogy of life, all of that sort of thing. And the thing about the Hierophant is that they've learned how to. What they're doing is here. So you've got that at the beginning, where you're after that star, and you're tied to that star by a cord of desire. It's one of your dreams and aspirations. What you get here, this cord has turned it into a very logical, progressional process of how you get from being there to your dreams and aspirations. And that's going to create that serenity and happiness, which I said comes from the Queen of Pentacles, but actually it's going to be very happy for you. She's smiling inside her, and he's smiling on the outside. And I think this is in February. You're going to get these moments where it's almost you're going to feel like, have that sensation is kind of going, yes, this is it. This is brilliant for me. So there you go, Aries. Really nice reading for you, actually, Aries. Very, very solid and amazing things. It's like, watch this space with Aries at the moment. Really watch this space. Absolutely beautiful. Looking forward to that, to your monthly readings, which will be coming out in a couple of weeks. As I said, I've opened up 5 sessions that are available in a link in the description below for private readings or a private healing session with my good self. And you can click on that and follow that, and we can have a private session. In the meantime, Aries, really, you know, life should be fun, and it looks like it's going to be great fun for you. So please do enjoy.